Okay guys, so today we're going to be looking at the daily time frame, because one of the things that has become clear over the past few weeks is that we're getting a bit of a muddle about where these support and resistance lines are, and we need to know, obviously, on a smaller time frame that we're working on, maybe like the 15-minute or the 30-minute chart, exactly where we are and where we're likely to see support and resistance in that framework of the smaller time frame. Because the one thing that we know for sure is that support and resistance lines drawn on say a 5-minute chart is never going to be as strong or as um, effective as drawing these lines on a big time frame like the daily. So what we need to do is to draw on the daily chart your major downtrend line here and your uptrend line. So you've got a parameter that you can work in when you start to drop it onto the smaller time frames. And I'll make that clear in a minute. But we also need some horizontal support and resistance lines on there. You can use the 1 hour chart, but I would use the daily to start off with, and then for the major resistance and major support lines here. Now when you've done those on the daily, then you can switch to the hourly, and obviously to draw one of these lines you need to go to this one up here on the top left, trend line, and if it's not showing, just click on that. I would always favorite these, like the arrow for me. So you've got your trend line here, and then if you click on the trend line, then you can start to draw it. You click on there and then it will draw all the way down wherever you need it to be. You don't need too many, and obviously on that one it's a different color and a different setup. So if you go to the line and right click and click settings, you can click on it and make it whatever color you want, white, and you can then make it into a line, and you can change the thickness. So you can do that with all these. So we don't need that one now, so we click on the line and remove. So we've got our lines of support and resistance, and that's on the daily. Now we're going to go to the hourly. So we're on the hourly, and you can see we've got everything condensed now. So if you click on auto, then it'll populate it to a decent size, and if you need to make an adjustment, just use these things on the right and just use your left click on the mouse and adjust it to the size that you want. Now let's zoom out a little bit and make sure that we can actually start to put these lines where we need them. So use your wheel on the mouse and then get it to where we have the majority of the chart covered with the resistance line and the support line. And then we need to draw two upper support and resistance lines and two lower support and resistance lines, and then we want one in the middle. Now you don't have to be exact, but you can see here that that one is a top, which is a good resistance line. We've got another one here which is a good resistance line. You can see here, and acts as support here. And then we've got another one here which acts as a resistance line, and it acts as a resistance line here, and a support line here. And then we've got one down the bottom which is acting as support, same as this white line is here. This is on the 1 year. So we've got that. Now we want the one in the middle as well, just to show us what's happening locally in the current price action, because if we move this out, we can see that we've got resistance, 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 support, support. So this is a really important line, and if we start to move out, we can see on our 1 year resistance and our 1 year support that between the two we've got this one here which is also acting as support and resistance. So this will help us when we're starting to take the trades on the 15-minute, because if we go to the 15-minute, you can now see that these 1 year lines are becoming narrower, and we also have this one we need to be paying attention to. So at any point in the future, if we go to this chart, we'll know where we are with regard to support and resistance on the bigger 1 hour and the 1 year time frames. So we can work with the 15-minute and say where the bigger regions of support and resistance are, because the smaller ones, although valid, are not going to be as reliable as these big ones. Hope that's helped. Thanks very much. Have a great day.